Hello, a very good morning to you all. Today I'm going to be making some little pearl bracelets with some flat or floss elastic. I'm using a 0.5mm flat elastic and a large eye or big eye beading needle just to help me get those beads on. I've got some lovely spaces and we've put a little bundle for you today together. So you've got 3 colours of lovely pearls and you can choose those in the gold or the silver option. So there's 3 different colours in each. We've also got a multi-buy offer on for you if you did want to get all 6 lovely colourways, and you can mix those pearls up as well if you wish. So I'm going to take you over to the website now and show you the Delilah pearl bracelet, which is what I'm going to make today. So over we go to totalybeads.co.uk. We did have some technical issues, I think, with the website yesterday. They should all be resolved now. So I know a few of you were trying to buy from the US and you should be able to do so now. So head into the video tutorial category, whichever one you want to click on to get in there. They'll all be there for you. And you can see from the top of the page what we've been making recently. These are all some of the makes that I've been doing. If we click into this one, this is the Delilah pearl bracelet. Really straightforward to wear and to make, and they are really pretty. I think they would be a nice summer wear, which would you probably get one done in about 10 minutes, and you can make an abundance of them in different colours and you can mix those colours, as I've said. And yeah, I think they make nice little gifts as well, whether you want to treat yourself or gift it to somebody else. Obviously, we're coming towards the end of the academic school year. So if you've got some little ones in your family, you could help them make these and you could entertain yourselves over the school summer holidays. Or if they wanted to make to gift for them friends as well. You're making 6 bracelets in each kit and it's just £5.99. Or you can get 2 kits for 10. So you'll be making 12 bracelets up. For just £10, which means that they're less than £1 per bracelet, which is a really good buy. So we've got the Delilah pearl bracelet bundle with gold or with silver, and I'll show you the colours and materials that I'm using in each one. So £5.99 to make up 6 bracelets, or you can get the 2 for 10 offer. You don't have to mix the colours. If you just want all of the gold, you can get 2 of the gold colour version, or you can get 2 of the silver if you wish. You can add a big eye needle in there as well if you want to. I would advise that going through the pearls. And if you haven't got one already, you can add one there for just 99p into your basket by clicking that little, can you see that? You just click this little bit here. So these are the colours against the gold. You're making 6 bracelets, so you've got plenty there to play with and you can mix up those colours. I'm using the glass pearl rounds, the acrylic spacer beads and the flat elastic. You've got 3 colours in this colourway. You've got the green, the pure white or the watermelon, and the watermelon rather, because you're getting them all, and they're 4mm in size, those glass pearls. I'm using the flat elastic, which is a 0.5. It looks a bit like dental floss, nice and flat, lots of fibres just kind of placed together really, so it makes brilliant for doing knots. You can knot and knot and knot and knot and knot this flat elastic and you don't have a bulky knot. So much so you can fit it inside one of the drill holes in these lovely acrylic gold round spacer beads, which are 4mm in size as well. In the other colour option, you're going to get the silver spacers with that. You'll still get the same flat elastic and then 3 different colours of the pearls. So if you wanted to add any extras in, you can do so. I mean, look how many pieces you're getting there for £2. You get over 1,200 pieces of the gold round acrylic 4mm spacers. If you wanted to add those extras in, you absolutely could. So that's how it looks for you. You've got these little flowers that will sit around the outside, just made up with the gold spacers. One straight stringing project, really simple to create and very pretty, I think, too. So they're £5.99 for the gold bundle. And then we have the silver bundle as well. Again, still making 6 bracelets in each kit for £5.99, and you can get 2 for 10. Add in your big eye needle if you need one just there. and we're still using the same components, just in different colours this time. So you've got your flat elastic, which is your 0.5, you've got those acrylic silver round beads in 4mm, which are your spacers, and then for your glass pearls in 4mm, I'm using hematite, light purple, and powder blue as well, which if you wanted to, I think I'll demo with these today, and I might mix the colours of my pearls into the section. So each little bit here, I might do it a different colourway. I might just choose 2 and put 2 of those together. Very, very pretty. So you've got your blues and you've got your kind of mix of summer colours there. I'm thinking garden meadow and sea breeze, or gentle summer skies. So they're all £5.99, or you can get 2 for 10. So head over to the website if you want to purchase those. They are the Delilah pearl bracelets, and of course you can watch this tutorial back here at any point, whenever you want. It might be next week, in the next hour, next year, the year after. They're all going to be there for you to catch up with. I feel like there may possibly be a sneeze, so do excuse me if I do. I'll try my very best not to I'll try my very best to just hold that in, because no one wants to hear that, and I don't know how to mute my mic. So they're the bracelets today. This is how they look down on the mat. I'll say a quick good morning to you. Oh, that's a very big close-up, isn't it? Ooh. Okay, I'll leave you looking at them while I say a quick good morning to you. Hello to Jan. She says, good morning, beading family, and Natalie from a bright and warm Sudbury. Anastasia's in Atlanta in the USA, which, oh, what's shaking there? Is it me? I've got a wobbly camera there, haven't I? Shake, shake, shake. 5 minutes past 5 a.m, or it was when she commented a whole minute ago. Good morning to Elaine. Hello to Rachel. How are you all doing? She says she's got some sunny Barrow. She's still got no internet, so watching on her phone again. Good morning to Joanne. Hello to you. Facebook's not working this morning. It says that it's streaming on my side, and I've got some comments, so maybe go back into it, Joanne, and it should be there now. Carol's watching on Facebook. Kath's watching on Facebook. She says, oh, it's just not working for me then. There's been lots of gremlins in the system, I think this last couple of days. I hope you are well, Debbie. Good morning to you. Hello to Lisa. Izzy's in as well. She's very pretty wee bracelets. They're so simple to make, Izzy. They really, really are. And look at those lovely colours. I'll take them down a little bit lower than that, because that is very close. So you can see all the marks on my bust. Good morning to Julie. How are you doing? She says, lovely bracelets. They've all fell into a basket. Oh, how did that happen? Good morning to Jan, who says very summery bracelets. And Mina's in as well. She's late coming in, as she was on a call to a cousin in New Zealand. So thank you for being with me today. This is going to be a nice quick make for us. And you can see I've got these 3 in the gold. So I've got that beautiful green, a pure white, and that watermelon pink. And they are very, very pretty. They will just sit like little flowers on the outside of your wrist there when you wear them. I'll put one on, but it is a bit big for me because I've made them 8 inches. You can see you can flip round. They'll just sit like this. When the elastic is more taut, they'll sit in whichever direction you decide to place them in. So that one is your watermelon. That one is your green. Love that. Really nice, zesty, fresh colours. They'd be lovely mixed together. So you could add 5 beads in one colour, 5 in the other, or you could mix all 3 colours of your beads into each section. You could alternate between them if you want to. This is your silver bundle. So we've got those lovely blue and kind of lilac-y colours there for you. And they're really straightforward to make. So you can work off your reel. I know, Mina, when you batch make, you like to work off the reel. You can work off the reel if you want to. I might do that now. But I'm just going to measure out. I always like to use a lot extra, because when it comes to tying my knots at the end, I really like to have plenty to hold on to, and I'm not fiddling around with little tiny pieces. It's just have more than less. I use about 50 centimeters, or just a bit over 50 centimeters, which I think is about 20 inches. So I'm just going to measure that off. I will have to cut it off my reel at some point, but for now I'm just going to measure about 20 inches out, which will be about 50 centimetres. If you are working off the reel, have I paused? Yeah, of course I have. Of course I have. I'm thinking, why can't you see? Am I not lower down on the camera? I said there was going to be gremlins today, didn't I? Brilliant. Okay, let me just fix my camera. I do apologise. Yeah, if you are working and you're working off your reel, just make sure that you've got a good tail end there. This is going to keep doing it, isn't it? I don't know why. Right. I'm just going to have to keep pressing and wobbling my camera, I'm afraid. There we go. Back to it. Yeah, so if you are cutting off your reel, just leave a tail end so you've got a piece on this side that you can knot with. I'll just pop that in there for now. So I've got quite a long length of my elastic. You can see the elastic is fine fibres kind of glued together, so it's flat. It's not round like a lot of the elastics I use tend to be. And I'm just going to get this big eye needle, so that means that it's got the eye of the needle. Instead of just being a small space at the end, it runs all the way through from tip to tip. And I'm going to just slide that on. Although I can really easily get my elastic through my, let me get these beads out, through my spaces with no problem whatsoever. They just thread on really easily. When it comes to the glass pearls, which are the same size, 4mm, I just find it much easier because I don't need to treat the tip of the elastic then by, popping a bit of glue or clear nail varnish on it to make it go stiff to push it through the beads. So I'm just going to pop my large eye needle on, which you can get on the website. I think they were 99p, weren't they? And I'm just going to thread that through as normal. I'm going to start off by adding 5 spaces. So I'm going to pick up 5. And of course these will come in either gold or silver. I'm using silver ones with blues. So adding 5 spaces on, and I'm just going to bring them down towards the end of my tail. Of course, if I am working off the reel, I'm going to leave an end there for me to knot with. If I am just going to be working off the reel, I can just open that up so I've got a little bit extra later when I do cut it off. I'm just tapping my screen to hope that it works. So I'm bringing the end with the needle on, and I'm just going to run it back. Let me just get, I want a longer piece there. I'm just going to run it back through the first 2 spaces. So taking the end of my needle and bringing it back through with just the first 2. And then as I draw that through, it's going to make a little loop. So it's going to look like a little flower. Heading back into the comments, I'm sorry, I didn't put yours back up, so I don't know if I've missed anything. If you've got any questions, do leave me a comment and I will do my very best to answer you. So I've just got my 5 spaces on, come back through the 2, and then I'm going to start with my pearls. I'm going to use those lovely hematite coloured ones. And I'm going to use that like lighter blue, I think, as well. I'm just going to use 2 of them. 2 colours for this one, because you're getting all of the colours in your kit, so you might as well. I'm now going to add on 5 of the 4mm glass pearls. So we're just adding 5 each time, whether we're using the glass pearls or the spacers. And I'm going to bring them right down to that little floral loop. And then I'm going to add on another 5 spaces. And then I'm going to bring those back down towards those 5 glass pearl beads. Back round again, just coming through the 2, so you can move it up if you need to. Just going to go through 2 of the spaces, and then as I bring that down, I'm just going to push my spaces back down so they're sitting next to those glass pearl beads nice and close. And there you go, I've got my next loop. Now of course this bracelet is on elastic, so it's going to stretch and give you that ability when wearing it to just fit it over your wrist. You don't need to be adding a clasp or anything onto this. Really straightforward, you can just slide it on or roll it onto your wrist. So it will adjust to size a little bit because it's got that give with the elastic. But what I've found that if I want to make an 8-inch bracelet, then I'm going to make 8 of these little flower clusters. And it is just a case of pattern repeat with that, really straightforward. So adding 5 on. Oh, I said I'd do a different colour, didn't I? Let's go for these lovely light blue ones. So I find that the drill hole in the the glass pearls are a little bit smaller than on the acrylic beads, but I think it's probably the coating. So there's obviously that gorgeous colour coating on them to make them whatever colour they are, and I think that sometimes just blocks the hole. So I find that I can look, that's doubled over that elastic there. It will go through really straightforward. I just find it so much easier to just add on that little needle. Once I've added on my 5 glass pearls, I'm going to add on 5 of the spacer beads again. So I'm always working in groups of 5, sliding them down, and then I'm only going to go back through 2 of the spacer beads. This would make a nice necklace as well if you wanted to do this technique and add it onto a little clasp. You could do stringing like this. So bringing it through the 2, making sure those beads are close down, those spaces are close down to the beads. If I need to, I can just move it along. So if I've left it and you can see there's a gap there, just by pinching it and pulling it up, it will just make them sit nice and close to each other. I'm going to go back to the beautiful hematite ones now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pulling them onto the elastic so they sit nice and closely up next to the spacer. Adding on another 5 of my spacers. Lovely large drill hole in those beads. Hi Heather, how are you doing? Kath says they're very pretty, thank you very much. Very straightforward to make. Nice simple jewellery, but I think they're very sweet. Back through 2, so it's coming through the back, and then that will make your next little flower, and that elastic will travel back through in a straight line, so you can add on your next lot of beads. So I've put the samples together and I've used all of one colour. But you get 3 colours of your glass pearls in each of your bundles today, whether you go for the silver or the gold. So if you want to mix them, you can do. So you wanted, you could do, you're getting 3 colours, you could alternate between 2 of them or 3 of them, or you could have 2 of one in the centre, another 2 of a different colour, whatever your little heart desires. And as I say, I think it's a nice, good beginner make. So if you've got any people new to jewellery making, I do think this would be a nice summer activity. Always adding on 5. Coming through just 2. And that will keep your thread or your elastic just travelling along through the top. Back to my hematite colours. Adding on 5. Positioning them right down that last little flower. And adding on 5 of the spaces again. So they're all 4mm in size. You could try it if you wanted with just the glass pearls and make different colours of your flowers and bring it through. You would get that through your pearls again using this flat floss 0.5mm elastic. But I think the spaces, I just like adding in that little kind of bit of metal kind of contrast into the colour of your beads. Bringing it through the 2. And then just tightening up that loop. So I'm going to do 8 flower clusters if I want an 8-inch bracelet. I think I might make this one a little bit smaller just because it's my sample, so I would like them to fit me. But I would say if you want 8 inches, do 8 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to finish with this one. I think. And you start with your spaces, but you finish with your pearls. And that way it will give that lovely kind of continuation throughout the bracelet. Do bear in mind that it is elastic, so it will stretch a little bit. But let's see, in terms of length, I think that would be good for me. Don't want it too tight. If it's elastic, we don't want it too tight around the wrist. But when you're happy with the length that you've got, you see I've got a really large long tail end because I was going to do some extras and then I added on more. Just make sure that you've got a tail on this side too. And then I can cut that off the reel. So I just want to make sure that I've got some tail ends there to play with. So when I come to tying my knot, I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. And I am going to knot and knot and knot and knot this as many times as I want because those elastic ends are just going to sit nice and flat together. They're going to interlock into place and they will make a very small knot. So you can double knot it, triple knot it, whatever you want. You can always add a little bit of glue onto these as well. I haven't added any glue onto any of the samples and we've been okay. So if you want to add a little bit of glue or clear nail varnish, you can do that as well just to seal that knot in. So when I do a surgeon's knot, I'm going to just go over once. So bringing one side over the other. In this case, it's my left over the right. And I'm going to bring it down until those pearls, that looks tiny, doesn't it? Maybe I've made it too small. So then that is going to sit just close to each other, those beads. And then I'm going to do it again. So I want to make sure that the elastic doesn't go around the bead and it sits in between. Now that's just one knot. What I like to do at this point is I like to pull it from both directions. So I'm pulling those two ends of the thread away from each other. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pull the two pieces of elastic which run through this side and this side, and I'm going to pull them in the opposite direction as well. So when I'm doing a surgeon's knot, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over once and over twice. So it's coming through the centre of that loop twice, not just the once. And I'm going to pull that down, so I'm pulling them away from each other. Don't have to pull too hard, just enough to lock those fibres in, and then pull in the opposite direction. And that's just going to lock it this way and that way. Now, because I've got the flat elastic, I can do one for good luck and one for next year. So I'm just swapping over which tail end goes over the other. And you can do a double surgeon's knot if you want to. Just bringing that through the loop again. Making sure that's nice and tight. And you can see how many times I've knotted that now. It's not bulky at all. I probably didn't need that many knots on, but I put them on. So what you can do now, if you've got a little bit of clear nail varnish or you've got a little bit of glue, you can dab that on. Now, sometimes glue can make the elastic go quite brittle. You can get a jeweler's glue. The one that I tend to use is like a GS Hypo Cement. That's what I tend to. I don't usually use glue in my jewellery, but if I do, that's the one I go for, or a clear nail varnish. And the good thing is with clear nail varnish is it has a little brush, so you want to tend to use it when it goes a little bit clumpy. So you're not going to pop that on your nails, but you can just dab a little bit onto the end of that knot and let that seep through. It's not a necessity, but it's an option. So once that's dried, and I'm not going to leave it to dry, I'm going to be really bold and just go for it because I don't think it's needed. And I'm going to come in with my cutters and I'm going to very carefully cut next to the knot. What you can do is you can run that elastic back through the beads to move it away from the knot before you cut it. But what I do tend to find is when I stretch out the bracelet, it will probably mean that the elastic might come back through and then you're going to have a little bit sticking out end. So I tend to just cut it close, but not on the knot itself. So I tend to use my wire cutters for that. You can use a sharp pair of scissors if you've got them. And then what you can do is you can find where your knot was. Where's it gone? There. And you can pull that elastic gently back through the spacer bead. So that spacer bead will drill hole. If you just see where that knot is, it will swallow up that knot and you won't be able to see it. And I think when you're making bracelets, elastic bracelets, it's really important to finish them properly. I don't like personally when you can see the knot. I think it breaks in the continuation of the beads. When you're putting your bracelet on, just watch if you've got any rings on. You want to roll it down your wrist rather than spread it out. And you can see I've now got my sweet little bracelet, which fits me perfect. It's roomy enough to be able to get a little bit of space in. It's not going to be cutting off the circulation on my wrist, and it will take you literally 5 or 10 minutes to make. I think you can, as Mina does, she batch makes, so she keeps hers on the spool, she'll thread on all the beads, and then she'll carry on working off it. So that is it. It took me, 10 minutes to show you. Camille said, sweet little bracelets. So that's it. You're going to get 3 of your lovely coloured beads in each bundle. Yolanda says, good morning everyone, happy Wednesday. It's a busy morning today. It's 24 minutes past 5 in the morning here in Michigan, and I'm already behind heading to work. I need to make some for the girls. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer, Yolanda. You can watch this back whenever you want to, whenever you finish work. I do think they are really lovely, and I think they make lovely little gifts. So I am tempted to see whether Frank would like to make some My Little Boy for some of his classmates, but there's like 36 of them in the class, so it probably wouldn't take me that long to do, but it'd be me making them, not him, wouldn't it? Am I frozen? Are we still? No, we've just got a delay. So in your gold, I'll go through the colours. These are the Delilah pearl bracelets. There is a real delay now on my camera, but it still seems to be working. We've got 3 colours of beads here. You've got the pure white. You have this lovely one here, which is your green, and then you have the watermelon too. And that kit is going to make you 6 bracelets up if you use this design, as in all of one colour. So you're going to have plenty if you want to mix those colours. They're with the 4mm glass pearl rounds in green, pure white and watermelon, and the acrylic gold round beads in 4mm, and you're getting all the elastic you could possibly need as well, which is a 0.5 flat elastic. It's £5.99, or you can get 2 for 10. So as I say, if you wanted to, you could buy twice on this colour, or if you wanted to mix and match and you wanted the gold and the silver, then we have these 3 lovely colours for you. We've got this light purple, which I think is very, very, very pretty. We've also got the powder blue, which is what I've just used there with the hematite. And then we've got the hematite. So these are kind of like your blue mixes on the silver. They're exactly the same price. Make 6 bracelets, just £5.99. Or you can get 2 for £10. You can also add in your big eye needle for 99p. And I would definitely suggest that you get one and you use it. I go through these at quite a pace, to be honest, because I use them for things that I probably shouldn't. And they often get a little bit bent, and sometimes they split at the end. So I was very lucky that I put one of these in my making bag in advance, because I don't know where the other one's gone, and I'm wondering if I've run out. So always have these in your stash. I think they are great for so many things. If you are working with a thicker cord, you know, if I was using something for kind of macrame in, and I wanted to get my cord through the beads, I'm gonna struggle to get a thicker cord or a thicker thread through a normal, you know, size 10, size 12 beading needle. These are nice and fine tip, but yet you've got that big wide opening all the way through. Camille says nice for stacking. They are nice for stacking. I did take pictures of them on my bus, which they were stacked up, and I placed them so like your little kind of flowers were just sitting above and below each other. But they do make nice stacking bracelets. Heather says, I like the green. Well, you don't have to choose. You can get all 3. So that is the make for today, as quick as can possibly be. And that was it, really straightforward. All you need to do is add on 5 of the spaces, bring it through the 2, 5 of your pearls, and repeat accordingly to size. You can adjust these to size really easy, like I've done. As I usually make 8 little flower clusters if I want to make an 8-inch bracelet. But today I wanted one for me because I thought it'd match the florals of my dress. So I used less, and it works just the same. You could, I suppose, I say, make this as kind of like a threaded necklace. I would put a clasp on it, so you could always use a culotte and tie your elastic into the culotte, because I do think it's important when it's worn around your neck that it can be detached quite easily rather than an elastic, just for my preference personally. But you don't have to use elastic if you want to use that technique. You could make it strung. You could try it with even smaller beads and make a tiny little ring if you wanted to. The possibilities are endless. It's nice to just show an idea of a design and then let you do what you think's best. Joanne says this is sweet. Looks great as a full set. She's playing with UV resin at the moment and finding it very therapeutic. Oh, I hope you're enjoying yourself. What are you making? Will you share in the making group? We always like to see what you're doing because we're all dead nosy. Heather says, you were asking for suggestions on Monday. Can I suggest a keychain, handbag, charms, and clip earrings? Yes, you can, Heather. I'm already on it. We are looking at doing clip earrings. I've done clip earring. You mean like clip on? I've done clip-on earrings before. We did like a lovely cluster of beads. I can't remember what they were called, but lots of small pearls and little tiny crystals and little size 11, I think they were Toho seed beads, and I did like a little stitch earring with that. They were really, really pretty. I know we had a gold colourway, and I definitely did a blue colourway. I think I probably did a pink as well. As for keychain and bag charms, that is something that I'm looking into, because I think it's nice to have things ready for gifting with the months approaching, and just something that you can have as every day. I really like to think of ideas, and I love to hear your suggestions if you've got anything which is a bit more kind of home decor rather than just jewelry, because we are totally beads. We make anything with beads. I have seen an actual handbag made of beads, and it's dead straightforward to make, but you need all like the claspy bits. So I don't know, that could be a bead club project. I might mind Simon. Looking at dates to go down, which will be very, very soon, hopefully. So yeah, any suggestions you've got, please keep them coming. And I hope I've answered any questions that you may have. Joanne says, could sit and do quite a few of these in a short space of time. Lovely make. Thank you, Natalie. Anastasia says, oh no, have you not been well, my love? I hope you're all right. There's all sorts going around at the moment. All sorts. Lots of kind of like flu type things going. So keep yourselves hydrated. Keep yourselves healthy, happy and well. And if you are needing to rest and recuperate, then get the beading mat out, or get a little tray and just sit and make. I hope you're feeling better soon, my lovely. I'm going to be back with you on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be making some nice statement necklaces and bracelets to match. I think I'm using the kind of I think glass marble beads. They're very bright, very, very colourful. And I've got some kind of cone-shaped tubes as well, which I think make a nice bold statement piece. So if you can come and join me on Monday, please do. Till then, I hope you have a really lovely weekend. And